Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crusader Kings 2. On our last episode, we assigned our council to important jobs within the realm, and this episode we are pretty much run out of immediately pressing concerns. We have some children we need to educate, and we can do that. That involves conducting diplomacy, going down to educate child. Sending your children to be educated increases the person's opinion of you. Whoever you send them to likes you more because you trust them with your children. Although, specifically, I'm trusting them with my grandchildren. Oh, my son just had a daughter. Okay. So, when you educate a child, you can pick anyone in your court to educate, and you generally want to send them to someone with a high education skill, like a 4-star, because that gets passed down to your children when they're educated. So the other advantage of educating a child is that aside from the opinion boost, is that they can gain the religion or culture of whoever you're sending them to educate. But you got to send them to a foreign court to do that. So we're sending our children to be educated in the hopes of improving our relationships with our vassals. Let's see. Yep. Rodrigo the Baron. Okay. So, that is our goal. We don't actually care too much about the education of those children because they're all grandchildren and none of them are likely to inherit. And in fact, when the time comes, due to our elective monarchy, we can send them to be we can send whoever turns out best to be our heir. Oh, we're being raided by Vikings, so I'm going to raise these. Oh, they fled, though. Damn Vikings. Alright. So we're just waiting for opportunity to find us. One thing I want to do is click on the Sultan here and mark him as a character of special interest. That means that we'll get notifications when he does actions that are notable to us. Like he just made peace over that holy war. We want to monitor him for wars, rebellions, and the like in order to ensure that we attack at the optimal time. Our monthly balance is pretty good, so we're going to want to continue that as much as possible. Ideally, we want to wait until we have about 500 gold before we attack. Our son is doing a really good job recruiting troops. Still about 2/3 of the way there. Our ally is winning his war, although I don't expect that to last long. And then our Chancellor is doing a good job increasing our opinion at home, so maybe we'll finally get over our reputation as a tyrant. We'll see. Basically, we're just waiting. That's the game. We have an unlanded son that we might be able to do something with. Oh, our son-in-law has just had a daughter. That's fine. That just means that there's one less heir. Sultan Muhammad has inherited a bunch of titles, which makes him more powerful. Let's look at another map mode while we're waiting. Direct Vassals. This shows you Ermentrude, our daughter-in-law, seeks to kill me. There's nothing we can really do about that, though. Oh wait, no, there is something. Because she's our daughter-in-law, we can order her to end the plot. She lives in our court, so she does what we say. And this will be considered merciful for us. Maybe she'll think of us as less of a tyrant. So, the plot was successfully ended, and now we just move on to the next thing. Oh, yeah, I was going to explain the Direct Vassal Map. It shows you... Anzar is not ready for it. It shows you the... they're complaining about the Stewart. There's a potential peasant uprising. Okay, let me pause to explain about the Direct Vassal Map. Basically shows you the organization within a kingdom. Who in the kingdom answers directly to the king. And so as you can see, like the Duke of Badajoz here is extremely powerful. The king himself is relatively weak. Let's take a look at his titles. He's got a lot of emirates, but not... oh, well, a few sheikdoms. It looks like these dark green belong to him as well. So, oh wait, no, his territory is all down here in the south part of his kingdom. That is why he doesn't have a lot, apparently, in the north. This can be useful for monitoring your own realm, for potential uprisings and the like, and also other realms for sources of friction. Like, if I wanted to destabilize this realm, I would send my chancellor to sow dissent in Badajoz, I think. That way, the king of Andalusia would have a serious problem, if that ever came to anything. My wife is pregnant, which is good, because I need another heir, just in case my son dies. And we are just waiting for our opportunity to strike. Our military is almost up to full. And it looks like our ally may well win this war that he's got, which is good. We want our allies to conclude their wars so that we can call upon them when we need them. We're also keeping our fingers crossed for some kind of major revolt here in this Sultanate, the Umayyad Sultanate. Oh, okay, so we gained this event because we're trying to improve our diplomacy. An old weather-bitten diplomat who has served in most of the courts in Europe agreed to take me under his wing for a few days. I gain a point in diplomacy. My diplomacy is currently 5. Alright. I just had a daughter with my wife. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with daughters, especially since I'm going to switch over to absolute cognatic succession. And I've got to keep declining fiefdoms for my male relatives because I don't actually have any land to give them. In fact, I want to consolidate my kingdom more, probably. I've got a couple of baronies that would be handy for me to control. Okay, my grandson Galindo needs a guardian. I am going to educate him myself in order to keep his family loyal to me. Basically, that means that should his father decide that he wants to do anything clever, like press his claims, that is not going to happen. Okay. My liege. Okay, so my chancellor is doing a good job in increasing my vassal's opinion, and we do have a fortunate event here, the Catholic Uprising in the Umayyad territory. which will serve to whittle down their troops a bit, although I'm not super optimistic about my chances. We'll look at their realm levies here. 6,500. He has just been getting stronger and stronger as time goes on, which means that even though our military is practically full, we've got 2,000 troops, the odds of us succeeding in a holy war are terrible. He's going to be able to bring thousands against us. What we're really waiting for is like a complete clusterfuck of a civil war. That is what we really want to happen, where territories break off and declare independence. That is our ideal situation. But I don't think we're going to be seeing it in this lifetime. Let's take a look at my vassals now. Ah, yes. See, the Bishop of Lair likes me more than the Pope now, so I'm getting gold and troops from him. We want to make him craven because he's an enemy. When you educate children, you get to decide things for them, and it is our hope that whatever Galindo turns out to be, it's not a threat. That's one of the advantages of raising children. If he were our child, we'd want to do the opposite, trying to give him good traits. The Francian-Lotharingian War over Chalons has won, and our ally succeeded. Which, I mean, is good. He's going to be a threat to us if we ever get powerful. Oh, okay, our granddaughter is concerned that she's not married. I will find her someone nice. Belasitka. Let's see if the King Louis has any good relatives. Alright, so clicking on King Louis, we see that he's actually got 4 sons. None of them are of marriageable age, but his oldest is 9, which isn't too much of a difference. So we can't arrange a marriage because he's too young. See, when we click, we don't get any option. So what we can do is arrange a betrothal. Belasitka, our granddaughter, we will arrange to be married to, our grandson. I guess they would be first cousins, which is a little incesty, but this will ensure that our alliance will continue into the next generation. So there we go. And that is more or less what's going to happen for the next, half hour of playing the game, is reacting to events as they come up, arranging marriages, watching your enemies. We are waiting basically for Sultan Muhammad here to die. Because succession crises are the biggest cause of realms fracturing in the game. And if we can jump on a succession crisis, then we might have a chance of expanding. Otherwise, he's just going to come and smack us with his 7,000 troops, and that's just the 7,000 he personally controls. If the Duke of Aragon decided to oppose us, or Badajoz got in on the action, we would be utterly screwed, even with our allies, because right now Christendom is divided and Islam is united. So we want to wait for like the rise of Shia or something like that to really make our move. What we're really worried about in the short term is that they are not going to wait around to let us take advantage of that opportunity, because we're going to have our own succession crisis when I die. But luckily, since we're elective monarchy, that should go at least a little smoother than the Muslim succession laws, because the Muslim succession law, whoever's the most powerful son will inherit. And it's entirely possible that Prince al-Hakam, the Sheikh of Valladolid, will oppose Prince Abdallah. And if that happens, there might be a breakaway faction or something that we could steal some land from. We'll see what happens when the time comes. Until then, good luck with your own kingdom.